everyone, it's Jeev'Oh, and welcome to another episode of Cornered. Cute those children. Yeah, there we go. Okay. This podcast is powered by the Audio-Technica AT2040 dynamic broadcast microphone. If you like what you hear, head down to our website, place an order, or pop by the DJ Corner HQ to do a quick mic test. Alright. He is one of the most familiar faces of the Dubai nightlife scene. Alright? If you're not into the nightlife scene, you've probably seen his face on a billboard or in a magazine somewhere in Dubai, somewhere in one of those real estate offices and whatnot, right?
Crazy, yes.
Yeah. He's a DJ, a model, he's a sneakerhead. Y'all help me welcome a very good friend, Mr. Shef Codes. There we go.
Well,
How's it going,
I
Chef?
wouldn't say model.
You wouldn't say model?
I wouldn't say model. I'm not a model.
Influencer. No.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, I'm very picky with the people that I work with.
All right.
And it's mostly to do with if I believe in a product and whatever.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? They're like, Chef, can you do this for us?
Okay,
I was
not
like,
a model. Endorser. Ambassador. No, endorser.
Ambassador.
Ambassador?
Okay, let's
All
just say ambassador.
All right. You endorse Levi's, right?
Don't endorse Levi's, but I love the product. I
Right.
love the brand. I love Levi's brand. It's like most of my jeans are from Levi's.
Right.
So like when I get a chance to work with them, I'm like, yeah, why not? Of course.
No.
It's like it always projects through that.
Right.
You know, I don't never ask for it. It just
Mhm.
happens. So it
Right.
just so happens.
I wish I was the brand ambassador of Sean John. Remember Sean John?
Ooh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sean
Those
John.
baggy jeans. Fat Farms.
Fat
Ecos.
Farm. Oh,
What
the good
else
old
was there?
days.
Yeah. What? There was one more.
Fubu.
Rockaware.
Rockaware. There was
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
So many at that time. There was
Were you into baggy jeans before? I mean, when you were in school?
Yes and no.
Yes and
Like
no.
I feel I wasn't very like fashionable
Right.
back in the day.
Right.
I was a shy kid.
Oh, really?
I was a shy kid. I don't know, yeah.
Okay.
I was a shy kid back in school. Never really wanted to kind of show anything. Like I just, followed like very subtle fashion sense.
Right.
I think I did go, and like the only place I could buy baggy jeans or jeans was Las Vegas. In
Karama. Right next to
Karama-
Oxygen.
Karama
I used to go there
complex.
all the time.
Yeah.
Used to
It
go
was a
there all the
spot.
time.
And
Yeah.
there was nothing else. And like, okay, that if you wanted to look fly, that's where you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone went there.
Yeah. Baller hats and baggy jeans, yeah.
Yeah.
And jerseys, yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't been there in a while. I should probably pay them a visit.
I want to pay them a visit
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
All right, let's take a step back. Let's go step by step. Tell me what it was like growing up as chef. Not Chef Codes, just chef.
Chef. Like I said, I feel like I was a shy kid.
Right.
Growing up. I was always surrounded by music. So coming from Sri Lanka 28 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
it was
You weren't born here.
I wasn't born here.
Okay.
I was here. I came when I was 9 years old. You can add that up right now.
Right.
I was just taking everything in. Like everything was new for me. So I think music was a kind of an escape, but also kind of like realizing everything made sense but didn't make sense.
Right.
Everything, like I said, everything was new for me, and like coming from Sri Lanka, we were only. I think it was like a one vision. Like everything was just one way.
Right.
Nothing was like here's a plate of culture. You can like there's a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. So when I came to Sri Lanka, I came to Dubai. It was just a eye opener for me for everything.
Right.
Like supermarkets,
Yeah.
like can dispensers, like
Right.
everything was new for me.
Right.
So yeah, I think growing up was a very. I felt like it was an exciting time for me. You know,
This
growing
was
up.
back in 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Right.
90s, bro.
90s. Yeah.
Like growing up with my cousins, it was such a fun time. There was no phones. There's nothing. It was just playing outside, playing football.
Right.
Within in the neighborhood. It was just a great time.
Which area was this?
In Karama.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stayed in Karama for a while as well. Maybe
Yeah.
2-3
It was just
years.
playing football barefoot.
Right.
Not complaining, just listening to your parents.
Yeah, I wish I could say this.
I was like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I was a shy guy, so it was me always listening to my parents.
Right.
But yeah, I think growing up was I had a great time growing up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Dubai.
It's Dubai.
Yeah, you have
It's
the
Dubai
best
kid.
of everything, basically. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, what did you? I mean, when you were a kid, right? What did you dreamed of being? I'm sure it wasn't something in music.
No, it wasn't. So my dad came to Dubai to work for a hotel.
Right.
Yeah, he was in the hotel industry, and I always wanted to be a chef.
Ah, now we're getting.
Yeah,
somewhere,
I mean, it's nothing to do with like it was a coincidence that I wanted to be a chef.
Mhm.
And my nickname was Chef.
Right.
But my nickname wasn't like, I didn't come up with the name Chef. Like, it only came later on when I was in school.
Right.
I never really even thought about, no one calls me Chef.
Yeah.
Everyone used to call me like, my uncle used to call me Chef Nut.
Chef Nut?
Yeah, Chef
As
Nut.
in
I was like
nut?
a little like, yeah,
Okay,
like a
alright.
Chef Nut. Like
Okay.
the kid.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, it's just my dad was in the hotel industry. I wanted to be a chef.
Right.
And that was it. Like, I was just like, my mom was like, no, definitely not going into a hotel industry.
Why not?
Like my dad was just a workaholic.
Right.
We never really he's never used to be at home.
Right.
So I mean, he was at home, but
was your dad in the culinary side?
He was he was in management.
Right. So
Yeah.
the HR side,
Not HR side. Like, he was basically in charge of. He was a stewarding manager, which basically meant that he was in charge of the plates. He was in charge of like the floors that were clean.
Right.
Like,
Right.
He basically had people in charge of that. So he had an
Right.
inventory of everything
Okay.
that was in restaurants. If something broke, he had to order it.
admin side.
Yeah,
then,
admin stuff. Like, he was just that.
Right.
That was
right.
him.
Okay. So you wanted to be a chef.
I wanted to be a chef. Like, I was like,
Any other, what? Maybe a plan B. Maybe if I don't, make it.
so that's what. So I wanted to be a chef, and then I was so into computers at that time. I was like,
All
you know
right.
what? I want to do programming.
Right.
Ain't nobody got time for
Yeah,
that.
no, I didn't. I was that's not the way to go.
Right.
Like, have you ever like written and like sat down on a computer and written a program?
Never.
It's
Never.
just so time consuming. It's just like lines and lines
coding
and lines of coding.
and-
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just like, no, that's not the way to go.
I've never. I mean, I love computers.
Yeah.
I love the longest I've sat at a computer was not even playing games. I was just like writing something.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, I was like, I want to be a writer, or no, I want to be that. Actually, no, the longest time I spent on a computer was actually, I would say 16 hours. Like,
It's
coming
long.
up with a beat
Yeah.
on a software.
But that's your creative flow. But imagine just like writing the same thing over and over and over
Yeah,
again.
it
It's
gets
just like-
tedious,
it just
yeah.
gets super tedious, and I was like, no, this is not for me.
Right.
No.
But you dabbled in it, but you decided.
Yeah. So I dabbled in it, and I knew I was really good at computers.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? Probably gonna do something with the computer later on in my life.
Yeah, you never call me or us, with anything. Oh, dude, my Serato is acting up. No, I guess you figure it out.
Yeah, we figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just if anything was broken, like a speaker was broken, I
Right.
know how to figure it out. Like, I'm like, I can figure this out.
Yeah. I mean, most of it is Googling anyway. Right now.
So right now, like, it's with Serato. I think I went a little deeper with like, get like a different mixer, and then like MIDI map the whole thing.
Right.
And that was just me like experimenting. It was just so fun for me. I was like, it was easy. I was like,
That's
you know
cool.
what? Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, all the tools are right there. You just need to.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you realize like you were into music?
Yeah.
and not just like listening, but you know, it like you were into it at a whole different level. When did you realize that?
My mom would like to say that it came from her because my mom used to be in a choir.
All right, she sings.
She sings.
Okay.
Yeah, she used to sing back in the day. She used to sing back in school.
Okay.
My mom likes to say that she was the reason why I got into music.
Okay.
But it's not really. My uncle used to play music every time we go to a party.
Right.
It was a family party, and he was he used to be a DJ, like a selector in a sense.
Right.
Like he made sure that, you know, there was his favorite songs just playing.
Right.
Like he had cassettes and CDs and whatnot.
Right.
So I can't find old photos of me, but every time I used to go to my uncle's house or anyone's house, it's just automatically it just attracted me to that side.
Right.
Like where the music player was.
Right.
So I would just sit down there and just like go through everything.
Like CDs
and cassettes and whatnot.
Right.
And then I realized that I can recognize like a Britney Spears song and a Backstreet Boys song.
Right.
That were produced by the same producer.
Max Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of those like hits back in the day was them.
Yeah.
And like I said, because I was, like I said before, when I came to Dubai, it was such a horse like one-way vision, like culture shock, and I didn't know anything about like hip hop and R&B and whatnot, right? So my music was pop music.
Yeah.
It was Britney Spears and
the
Backstreet
top 40,
Boys.
whatever.
Top 40 stuff.
Yeah,
it was very popular at the time. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna digest.
Right.
And I could recognize that automatically, even though I didn't knew what producers were.
Yeah.
I didn't know like I don't know who Max Martin was back in the day. I was a kid, like.
Right. It just sounded like
I'm like, why
together.
is it? Yeah. Why is this so similar to this?
Right.
And like even listening to top 40, like Ricky D's and stuff like that. It was just so like that was. I was so inquisitive about how, why, when, where. Like. Right. I imagine putting like Britney Spears vocals on like a Backstreet Boys song. Like how would that sound? That was my brain that back in the day. And I used to draw so much that it was I think it was another creative outlet for me to get into.
Yeah.
And I think that's what prompted me to even think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But did you know like DJing like the way you DJ right now was like a job that you can, you know?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Right. What?
Like I didn't know. It was, I think, when the internet was born.
Right.
And I used to go to like internet cafes, and I used to like go to like there was this like place in Karama. It was the office or stationery place. It was called The One. Remember?
I think so. Is this near the park?
Yeah, near the park. Like very close.
So
I used to go there. I used to walk in, and I used to just use like computers.
Right.
And then they used to have internet.
Okay.
Back in the day, so I used to go and like actually like sit down and then search for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'll do it every day. I go to internet cafes and then my uncle handed me a laptop, and that was when everything changed for me. I was like, I downloaded Virtual DJ, and I downloaded. I was like researching about Tiesto and and all these like big DJs and how tempo and BPM and whatnot. I think the internet was such it was a blessing enough for me. I'm like, okay.
What was your first source of music? Bootlegs?
Bootleg. It was in school.
Really?
Yeah, I was in school. Like, bootlegging. I didn't know what bootlegging was.
Yeah.
So the only way. So what I used to do as a kid was. This is funny. I take my uncle's laptop.
Right.
Yeah. Play music from it, and I'll put a cassette player and record it.
Okay.
It was really, really bad quality.
Right. Yeah.
It was really bad quality, but I would do that. That's what I would do.
Okay.
And I would just make like playlists.
Right.
Based off that.
Okay.
That was me bootlegging back in the day.
Very creative. I mean, LimeWire, but
Yeah, it was LimeWire, Shazam, and all that kind of stuff back in
yeah.
the. Was it Shazam? Was it Shazam?
Lime. I remember LimeWire. There's another one. No, Shazam is like fairly recent, if I'm not mistaken. LimeWire, Torrent, uTorrent, BitTorrent, something
Yeah,
like that.
I never used to use like Napster and whatnot, but I think LimeWire was.
Oh yeah,
It's like
Lime. Yeah.
torrents was such a big thing back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I used to do. I used to get music,
Right.
get a cassette player, and like record it.
Wait, you hook? Do you hook them up?
I never used to hook anything up.
So
It's just
it's
this-
recorded with the mic of the tape recorder.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
mic and tape recorder next to the speaker for the laptop, and I used to like. That's how I used to.
Yeah.
And then I used to like give it to people in school.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did that make you popular though?
It didn't make pop. I was never a popular kid.
Okay.
Like I said, shy
Okay.
kid.
All right.
Never used to talk. I'm like, I was the good kid. I was the subpar nerd.
Okay. All right. No, but were you good at like academic stuff? Like, you know.
I wasn't bad at it.
Okay.
I was an
Average.
average.
Okay.
I was an average student.
What's your favorite subject back in the day?
Geography.
Geography.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really?
Yeah, really. Yeah, it was.
What made you interested? I mean, are you okay if I pointed at a
Like
map?
I used to. Yeah, I could tell.
Really?
But
Okay.
it was more of to do with Earth and like the different type of clouds and stuff. I don't know why I was so interested in that back in the day.
Okay, but you're not anymore.
Not anymore.
Okay.
I'm
All
like,
right.
I like geography, but
All right.
I
Okay.
don't love it now.
Okay. So, all right. So you started bootlegging, distributing it, but would you say that was the start of the Chef Codes? You know,
The journey.
the journey. Yeah.
So I found out what a DJ was,
Right.
right? And and everything kind of like made sense to me.
Okay.
Like everything was like, oh, everything's aligned now.
Right.
So how can I actually beat match? Like I knew what a BPM was. I knew like the history behind it.
Right.
And it was just one of my cousins who came from Sri Lanka to Dubai. He was basically the person and the gateway for me to explore the world of DJing.
Right.
He was just like, okay, this is what you do. This is like you press play. This you press Q.
Right.
And this is the pitch. And
Right.
all you need to do is like match it, match
Right.
the beat.
Make sure they
And I
go
was like,
together.
okay. I was like, I know what BPM is. Okay, so I have to match it. Like, I can slow the
Right.
beat down, and that was essentially the gateway for me to get into this whole world of DJing
Right.
as we talk about it.
Okay.
But then I found out about turntablism. I was like, yo, what is turntablism? He's like, watch this video.
Okay.
Watch the video. And I'm like, wow. Okay, I need to get into turntablism now.
Right.
I'm like, I need to know how to DJ on turntables.
Turntable, yeah.
And it was a different world. Like once you get into DJing and like you find out, okay, this is how you beat match, and now this is how you drift. This is how you go.
Okay.
Well, like 180.
All right.
And I'm like, it changed my whole perception, the whole world. And I was so interested in. I started watching. I started downloading like movies about turntablism
Right.
and like hip hop and everything. That was and it was I was so invested in it. Like that was
Right.
me.
What year was this?
I can't remember, man. I'm just too old now. I can't remember even.
What, 2004, 5, maybe around.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, probably like around that time.
My calculations were right.
Yeah.
So okay, let's talk about your identity, basically, right?
Yeah.
So how come? How did Chef or Chef Nut?
Yeah. And become Chef Codes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I learned how to DJ now. I'm like
Right.
get into turntablism,
Right.
and then I was like, you know what, I need to start DJing. So everybody in school, at that time was like, oh, you know, Chef can DJ. Chef can DJ at your like Indian
Okay.
Indian wedding,
Right.
and like Pakistani engagements,
Right.
and American proms, and
Yeah.
and like it was such a vast like I was just like trying to DJ everywhere.
Right.
And then I realized that at that time, it was like a language, so that's why codes came about, like
Okay.
DJ code, like a language, like
So you went by DJ Codes?
DJ code back in the day, yeah.
Okay.
And then what did I do? I went back to internet
Right.
and then Googled the whole DJ code, and there was a whole bunch of DJ code.
Right. Okay.
And I was like, nah, this is not me.
Okay.
And then I was like, you know what? Maybe call myself DJ Chef. And then it was like a whole bunch of DJ Chef.
Really?
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of DJ Chefs.
SHEF.
Yeah, there was a whole
Really?
bunch. Yeah, if you
Okay.
Google it right now, there's a lot of it.
Okay.
And then, I don't know why, I don't know how, but my marketing brain was just like ticking.
Right.
And then I said to myself, why don't I just call myself Chef Codes? And then whatever I do would be coded something.
Okay.
Like, yo, did you go to the coded party?
Okay.
Or maybe you can have it as like a coded production.
Okay.
And I couldn't just box myself into just being a DJ.
Right,
I can just
right.
be anything I want. I can be an artist, I can be a painter, I can be
Yeah.
whatever, and just call
Yeah.
myself Chef Codes.
Mr. Shef Codes.
And then
You
I
just
was
added Mr. in front.
And then I added Mr. because one of my favorite bands at that time was Linkin Park,
Okay.
and the DJ, his name is Mr. Han,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like a little salute,
Right.
because every time I used to go to work and I sit in the bus or sit in the train or whatever.
Right.
There was no trains back in the day, but yeah, I sit in the bus. I would listen to Linkin Park. It was just one song by Mr. Han, which is in every
It's
Linkin
John
Park.
Han, right?
Yeah, John
Yeah,
Han.
yeah.
So there's in every Linkin Park album, there's one song that's just him,
Right. Right.
and like no like vocals. It was just I don't know why. It's just like it was such a meaningful thing for me, because I just listen to that song and just like watch everything. It's like a movie for me. But yeah, so I took Mr. from Mr. Han and then put Mr. Shef Codes.
Interesting. I mean, I'm a sucker for DJ names, because a lot of people like that. I mean, yeah, I get it. You this is your name, then there's a DJ in front of it. I get it.
Yeah.
Mr. Shef Codes is like, you know.
And like I said, I didn't. It wasn't such a. It was me thinking about me as an artist. Like
Right.
I didn't want to just be stuck into this whole DJ
Yeah,
world.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so like I said, I can be anything I want right now. Call
Yeah.
myself Mr. Chef Codes. Be like, okay,
Right. Right.
I can start rapping tomorrow.
That-
I'm not.
yeah,
gonna
and
rap. I'm not gonna rap, but like you said,
yeah, but and it would still
it will
work.
still be.
Your name
yeah,
will
yeah.
still work.
That's,
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen, but still.
No, you know, we had Mad Jam a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and
I like his name. I know how he did it. but yeah.
exactly. And you know, the first time I saw his name and the way he, his logo, essentially, and when I found out his real name like ages ago, I was like, oh my God, that's very unique, creative, and it just fits.
Yeah.
He's been DJing his whole life.
Yeah.
You know, his name is Ahmed, last name Ajam. He just took, you know, elements of both his first and last name, and then there's
There's
DJ
so
in the
many.
middle.
Yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off. But there's
No.
so many like interesting DJ names that growing up that I used to see. Before I became Mr. Chef Codes, there was and sorry after.
Yeah.
There was a DJ in Dubai. His name was Mr. Mister.
I remember him. Yeah, yeah.
So his name is Mike Roberts,
Oh,
which is his initials are MR. So people used to call him, "Are you Mister?"
Mister.
So, and then he used to call him Mr. Mister. And like even one of my really good friends, Mikey, who's the owner and founder of Amongst View.
Okay.
He used to be a DJ, and his name is Mike Taylor,
Right.
and his initials are MT. So his DJ name was Empty Pockets. Such a great name. There's so many names that
Yeah.
like make sense. So there's a lot of like thinking. So for me, when people ask my name and why it's because, and I told you why, because
Yeah.
I used to do all these parties and it was
Yeah.
like a language, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I can't explain it.
Yeah, yeah.
It just came to me.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's
this
like
is my
bang,
name.
it hits
It's
you-
like bang.
it-
It's
it
like
hits you in the
it's just-
face one
I
day. Yeah.
just woke up one day and said, you know what? This is what I'm gonna call myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a brand on its own right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. So, tell me, what was the first party or night that you would never like? That's basically where that kick-started your journey of DJing, where people started recognizing your name.
Um, I don't know. I didn't, like I said, I when I was in school, I used to do a lot of parties, but it never really stuck.
Yeah.
You know, like like I obviously didn't do a great job the first
Right.
couple of days. Like sometimes I would go to like these parties, like these weddings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not Indian. I'm not like Pakistani, or I didn't know the language. So for them to experience a Sri Lankan DJ who did not know what everything meant, and then they would look forward to certain type of music, but it didn't happen, and then
Yeah.
something would like the CD players would bust. And
Right,
something. So my name didn't really like stick for so long.
Yeah.
It's only when I started getting into competitions
Right.
and started doing like I went to college and started doing stuff within the college. I was like, you know what, I can DJ, I can represent the college to
Right.
in these like inter college whatever.
Right.
And I think that's when it started sticking. Like that's when people started understanding. Okay, you know what? There's this dude from ACD. Like he's really good. Like
Dude, you
was in
studied in ACD?
I was in ACD,
I studied in ACD.
but I was doing evening.
I was doing evening too.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that was.
it was
like-
also like very,
Yeah, I mean, I had like a few. I had like 3 years where I dropped out, and then I.
go back
So,
again.
yeah.
Let's talk about it later too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think after that is when this conversation started.
Right.
It's when you get into DJing, you're so put in the box, and so I started meeting people like the judges and whatnot,
Right.
that were also big DJs.
Yes.
You know, so I just tried to network from that, and that's when everything started.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many? I mean, just a rough number here, but how many residencies have you had since everything started?
So many, way too many to buy.
Yeah.
I've been DJing for so long.
So are we talking like 50s, hundreds, maybe?
Not, I wouldn't say hundreds because we didn't have hundreds of places in Dubai.
Yeah.
But I can safely say that I've DJed at like 80% or 90% of the top clubs in Dubai.
That's dope. That's dope. All bit of plug. But that's dope. Yeah. No.
No,
Yeah.
like when I come to think about it, I'm like, yeah, I've done,
You're seasoned for sure.
yeah,
For
like,
sure.
and yeah, I've done a lot of different places because the generation's come and gone, but I feel like I'm still stuck around.
Yeah. You're a staple, bro.
Yeah.
You're a staple. What is the single most defining moment you've experienced that made you into the artist you are? Single most. If you had to pick one single moment, what would that be?
I think it's multiple things. I can't pinpoint into
Right.
one. Like I said, it's everything. You realize a lot of things as you get older, and the more and more like it's an experience thing, really.
Yeah.
And the more and more like I started DJing, everything made more and more sense to me.
Right.
So I can't say like, oh, just one thing. I think it was just the whole journey of me,
Right.
from the beginning, when I first started DJing till today. I'm still learning.
Right.
Still learning about so many things. I'm not like everyone likes to say like, oh, Chef, you're such an OG. You're doing this. I'm like, for me in my head, I'm still trying to be the best DJ. I'm still trying to be the best version of myself.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still learning, so I can't be like, yeah, this is what made me realize that I'm the best. And I don't think anyone's supposed to think like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That way you never
never really proud.
Evolve or learn.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still learning. I think as an individual, I'm still grabbing bits from everywhere. I'm still learning. So like to learn more and more.
Cool. What has been your favorite gig so far?
It's just like asking me to pick my favorite song.
No, I know.
It's such a hard thing.
No, okay. I'm not going to ask. It could be like a private gig.
I've had so many experiences, man. Like
Yeah.
I've had so many experiences where it was sometimes it's just great parties. Like the experience, the crowd was rocking back and forth. I can't pinpoint, like I said.
Okay, here's
the question. Okay.
What's the weirdest thing that happened to you while you were DJing?
I can't say it on there.
Okay. I can bleep it out. I can bleep that out.
No. I don't trust you with this, G. Don't trust you. Let's just say I've seen way too many things in Dubai. Like, I've experienced a lot.
Okay.
I've experienced enough.
Okay.
Yeah. And, like, if people say, have you done this? I'm like, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Same question.
Like my stomach's rumbling. Can you hear the stomach rumble?
I can.
Hear the rumble.
Okay. I want to get something out of you.
Go.
Right?
Okay, go.
So same question, but more from a DJ's perspective, not the actual party itself. What was the worst thing to have happened, or weirdest thing to have happened to you while you were DJing? I'm talking about in the booth.
Oh, that's easy. It's not easy, but like I think the most memorable thing that I would have happened was one of my really good friends, Ali Mack. He was on Virgin Radio,
right.
And he was basically the face when he was DJing, and he was always persistent about the fact that I would go and DJ with him.
Okay.
So I
on
said,
air or
no,
okay.
a concert. So
right.
There was a huge concert in Festival City.
Okay.
I think it was one of the first festivals that I've ever DJed at. And it was like Gorillas and everybody like after us.
Right.
And we just went on. We didn't prepare nothing.
Okay.
It was just me and him back to back. We set up his laptop and we were just going back to back.
Right.
And we were supposed to do a warm-up set.
Okay.
But it was like a proper main set.
Oh man. You skipped the warm-up, went straight to prime
time.
we
were playing like Drop It Like It's Hot.
Yeah.
And, like people were jamming.
Who was supposed to go after you?
It was another DJ. He's also a really good friend of mine,
okay.
Erwan.
Okay.
And then all I can see is this guy coming and just like shut the music off and is like, no, you can't play those songs. Like and Ali went mad, like he was crazy. I think that was the most. And then that time, I was like, oh, what's going on? Like, what, am I doing something wrong? Should I continue?
Right.
It was just like weird. It was just a weird like feeling and a weird like it was just a.
I should get Ali down here. What's up, bro?
Yeah, we need to get Ali. He's got some great stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was I think one of the most. It was an awkward moment for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think another time also I did a concert. I was opening up for Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
And Nicki was late to start.
Okay.
Because she was all of a sudden Bliss decided to do an interview with her.
Oh, backstage.
Backstage, and
okay.
And the responsibility came on to me to like continue the party.
So Bliss just texted you, yo, bro.
No, he didn't even text me.
Oh.
It was for Dubai One TV at that time, and he decided to do the interview, and I think she came in last minute.
Oh, this was when Bliss was still with Dubai One.
Yeah.
Okay.
When when he was doing TV,
yeah.
And it was. I had to continue DJing.
Right.
And all I can see was this crowd just like waiting for Nicki Minaj. Like it was just, okay, just get me out of this stage right now.
How late was you though?
Like maybe half an hour, 40 minutes late. Like, and I was like super anxious.
Right.
This is the weird feeling.
So like, you were like, you were out of the loop. What's going on?
Yeah. No one told me, like there was no manager saying, "Oh, he's gonna come 30 minutes late." No, let's just continuing.
Okay.
I didn't know what was going on. I'm just like
Right.
playing.
Okay.
It's just weird.
See, I finally got something out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to ask the right question.
That's just the PG stuff. Like,
Yeah.
This is for the
Tip
for
of
the
the
podcast.
iceberg.
This is for the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. There is a another version. No, there isn't.
So wait.
Yeah.
It's in a dark environment.
Yeah. What year did you win Palme DJ of the? Sorry,
I think it was like
top 3. You won top 3, right?
Yeah.
Was it 2007?
I think I was like 21. I just turned 21. I think 2007.
Yeah. Because I was going through your Facebook and it was uploaded in 20.
Yeah, there was some pictures in there that I didn't want you to see as well, but okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about that later.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, 2007. I was really upset that I didn't get accepted because the year that I
Get
wanted,
accepted?
like, you need to be 21
Oh, okay.
to join PAM.
Right.
So when I was 20, I was like, I'm doing this. I'm gonna join PAM, and then they just when I turned 20 and I wanted to enter, the PAM concert itself, PAM organization said,
Right.
we're not gonna accept anybody
Below
20.
Right. Sucks.
Yeah, and then I turned 21, and I came 3rd place that year.
Right.
Yeah.
You won a CDJ 800.
Yeah, one of it.
And wait, one? One of it?
Just one. Yeah. Jimmy was the one giving me that.
Yeah,
prize.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah, I just won one pair. Imagine.
One unit or one pair?
One unit.
One unit.
One
Okay.
unit.
Did you have a mixer at home at least?
No, didn't have anything. Didn't have anything.
Who won that year? Mo Tiger? Was it? I think it was Mo Tiger.
It was Mo Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Mo Tiger.
He probably won the other unit.
Probably. I think he got it. I think it was a set.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
was
usually it's going to
set
be
at-
the whole. The standards at the.
Yeah.
At that time, it was the 2000s. Was it 2000?
I think the 1000s.
There's still the 1000 MK3s.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
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 Because I got the 800 Mark IIs.
Right. All right. Right. Yeah. Okay. You good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
okay, cool. All right. So, you won it in 2007. Did that contribute to a push in your career? I'm sure it did.
So you know how I said I was joining these competitions
Right.
just to kind of network,
Yeah.
and I think that was the time. That was one of the first times I met Bliss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it obviously did change my trajectory.
Right.
Because if I didn't join the competition, I would never. Bliss would never seen what I could have done and
Yeah.
whatnot. So I was one of the youngest participants at the competition at that time. And even if I did become 3rd place, I was doing a lot more gigs than the winners were
Okay.
at that time. Like I think I was DJing at the Atlantis, and I was DJing at Emirates Palace,
Right.
and I think Bliss saw that. Okay, you know what? This guy could be
Yeah.
the guy that who could warm up for me and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, it did change a lot for me, for sure.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay. So, speaking of that, how many do you keep track of how many times you're nominated for various awards? Probably a Grammy.
Nah, not really. Feel like I've been nominated quite a lot, but I never really get it to my head. I feel like
Okay.
there's more DJs that would I'm getting stuck for words today.
That deserve it.
That deserve it better.
Okay,
Yes,
alright.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because I never really considered myself the best DJ.
Right.
So for me, it's just yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
If I
thank you,
win,
Time Out. Thank you,
amazing.
thank you,
Yeah, yeah.
Ahlan. Thank you, What's On.
Right.
I appreciate it. I feel like there's a bit of recognition for the stuff that I've been doing.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for so long, and the recognition. Yes, I'm super grateful. I'm super thankful, but I never really count on it. I never really
You're just doing what you love to do. Yeah.
Just doing.
Yeah.
I'm still a DJ.
Yeah.
Still love playing music.
Sure.
Still trying to be the best version of me.
That's great. Very good mentality to have.
Yeah.
Very. Okay.
I feel like this is like the top secret question that you want to ask, but you're not asking.
No, no, we'll get there. We'll cross the bridge when we get there. That's all right. Okay. I was going through your Facebook, right?
Okay, great.
You've met quite a few celebrities, right? While you were DJing.
Yeah.
But when you were a kid, you met The Rock.
I met The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson.
His name was Rocky Maivia back in the day.
Yeah, his first, pro wrestling name. Yeah.
His first pro wrestling name. My dad was working in a hotel.
Was that here?
It was in Dubai.
Okay.
He was working in a hotel, and obviously, as a kid, I used to watch WWF. It wasn't even WWE.
Yeah, it was
WWF.
Yeah, Federation. Yeah.
It was Federation, and my dad told me, you know what? Like, there's some wrestlers staying in the hotel. I'm like, what wrestlers?
Okay.
What kind of wrestlers are you talking about?
Okay.
I was like, what? And then he said, there's some wrestlers, I don't know who they are. Maybe you want to come because they're going to come back to the hotel at this time. But so no one was there.
Right.
It was just me and like 2 other kids. So no one really knew that they were going to be at the hotel. And The Rock just joined, I think it was his first year in the WWF at that time. So I was like, this guy's good. This guy's going to go far, you know? And this is before like
the
he
chef
became...
manifested that.
I think so, and I think like this is before The Rock became The Rock.
Yeah.
And I met Undertaker. I met Bret Hart. Bret Hart. Like all those guys were there. Mankind.
Wow.
Yeah, like everybody. So it was just a fascinating time for me, and I'm just like that's just. It's such a, like I said, I had a great childhood.
Yeah.
And like that was like one of the top moments. Yeah.
I was really surprised. I thought at first I saw the thumbnail and I was like, okay, he knows how to Photoshop, but as someone who Photoshops, I had to peep the pixel. I was like, no, this picture is legit.
Nah, it is legit. Actually, there is I think Marwan's brother, Bliss's brother, also has a similar picture because I didn't know that there was actually gonna be a WWF match in Dubai.
Okay.
It was a showcase.
Right.
But like some people decided to get them here, like even before back in the day. So I think somebody else has a similar picture like that.
It could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that for me, for The Rock where he is right now, it's so crazy for me to.
I know that when he was in that character, right? He was a villain.
No, the Rocky Maivia wasn't a villain.
He was a face.
He was a face. Like he was representing his dad because he was dad in wrestling.
Right.
His uncle was in wrestling, and he like I said, he just entered, and I think this is before WWE became what it was. And what it is still today. So yeah, that was it.
Dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to The Rock.
Shout out The Rock.
Yeah. Okay, out of all these celebrities, right, that you've met, that you've hung out with, do you have a favorite one? Maybe.
You make it sound like I'm actually hanging out with celebs all the time.
No, I mean, no. Okay, when you've had these encounters with, I mean, I can tell you that I've met a couple, not a lot, a couple, but I can tell you which one was like, I would love to meet again, to interact with again.
Who was it? Who is it?
No, I don't want to tell names.
Come on.
The thing is, if I mention names, I won't be able to invite them for a podcast.
Come on, Jeev. we can bleep it out.
Okay, I'll bleep it out. Recently we had. I'm going to pixelate this area anyway.
Go.
Recently we had.
Okay.
All right. He dropped down here to buy a couple of stuff.
Yeah.
Initially, he didn't seem approachable.
Right.
But then for some reason, we got to talking, like me and him.
Yeah.
Everybody took pictures with him.
Yeah,
He was cool and stuff.
Yeah.
For some reason, when we started talking, we shared a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And his whole demeanor changed. He was like the coolest guy you've ever met, right?
Yeah.
And then there was someone else, I can't even remember, but there was someone else who didn't like even bother talking. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here to do business,
Got you.
transaction.
Yeah.
That's it. And but it's different because at first he was like he didn't seem approachable, but then
Mhm.
he opened up. You know,
Yeah.
so
A funny story about actually. I was DJing at Sky,
right.
Sky 2.0, and I think that's one of the clubs that a lot of like celebrities and a lot of people come.
Yeah.
And he happened to be in the crowd,
Right.
and I didn't know that he was there.
Right.
So I was like DJing. I'm like, doing like a couple of like wordplay stuff,
Right.
and I was just in the mood at that day.
Right.
And like I was doing this like wordplay that I always do, and then I look up, and it was like just like staring at me.
Okay.
And he's like, she just gave me this like nod of acknowledgement, like,
Yeah.
"Ah, I see what you did there,"
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. And I'm just like, okay, this is a good night. Yeah.
Right.
And then I turned around, and then I keep forgetting his name, the lead actor from Blackish.
I haven't watched that.
Blackish, you know him. If you see him, you know what I'm talking about.
Any other movie he was in?
He was in a lot. Like he's really popular.
Okay.
And he was in the DJ booth, and I'm just like, what is going on?
Okay.
It's
Big night.
so crazy.
Alright.
Yeah, it was a big night.
Yeah.
And then somebody else was there as well. But I think the guy that I would never my first encounter with him was just like I was in awe was
Right.
when I met Jazzy Jeff.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Anyway, Jazzy Jeff. Holy crap.
Yeah. So I DJ
Oh
with
yeah,
him.
I saw pictures of you with him as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so you see how like this manifestation works?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
crazy because I was watching like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was one of my favorite
Right.
all-time favorite like TV shows.
Yeah.
And then so when I grew up watching, because people in Dubai, people in UAE were brought up on 90s sitcom.
Exactly.
From
Friends,
American sitcom.
yeah,
Friends
yeah.
and whatnot. So I think after the introduction of hip hop and whatnot, and Will Smith being Will Smith, I started watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right.
And obviously Jazzy was on it.
Yeah.
And then realizing that actually Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff were an actual band.
Yeah, duo. Yeah.
A duo, like the won their first Grammy and whatnot. And then to see him in like front of you
Yeah.
and like judging your vinyl skills, it was just like, this is a little weird.
Did you get conscious?
I was super conscious.
Yeah.
Like, and this is what I mean. Like, it was, competitions, like DJing competitions, networking, me getting to DJ at Trilogy, one of the biggest clubs at that time. And then, getting to, getting to meet, Jazzy Jeff,
Right.
which is like,
No, it's for sure because again, what intrigues me is like the whole manifestation part, right?
Yeah.
Like you have tunnel vision and it just happens.
Yeah.
I love that.
it just so happens, man. Like, there's so many things in my life I'm like, I don't know how it happened, but it just happens. It's
Yeah.
just manifested to when I was younger. Everyone just makes fun of, when I was younger, everyone used to make fun of me when I was in school.
Right.
For example, not in school actually, when I was in college and I started working in the morning,
Right.
and people were like, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. And I was like, you wait and see. But I didn't obviously say that to him or her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just so happened, man. Everything just like aligned.
Right.
The
that's true.
stars aligned, Jeeves. The stars
Yeah.
aligned.
Yeah. Same thing. A lot of people say, back when, right now it's a little different maybe because there are a lot of opportunities for like creatives and DJs and,
Yeah.
but back then, like a lot of people say, don't love music too much. It's not going to get you anywhere. Right.
Yeah.
I beg to differ, to be honest.
So many, like even with gaming.
Yeah, exactly.
See how big the industry is right now. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people spend so much time gaming.
Yeah.
But now they're some of the most richest people in the world are gamers.
Gamers, exactly.
Like
yeah.
a FaZe Clan, how they're moving about, like how it's mad for me to even think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not a gamer at all. Like I don't know anything about games, but I know what Dota is. I know whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they say that there was a point where someone told me don't love music too much, right? I can say that not my parents. My parents were supportive of whatever I did, right?
Yeah.
But someone close to me told me that don't love music too much. It's not gonna, take you anywhere.
Yeah.
I beg to differ because even though I'm not doing music right now, I'm still surrounded by people who do.
Yeah.
And me supporting them in some way, that's more than enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still
100%.
close to what I love. And yeah.
But there's so many things, like even social media, for example, even like fashion and art.
Yeah.
There's so many factors that we can that people are going to say like, oh, it's not going to take you far.
Yeah.
Like painting, it's not going to take you far. Like even consulting, it's not going to take you far because it's such a. But there's so many things that you can do now.
That's true.
Yeah, that's many things.
Yeah. I'm people who love to paint, get into digital art, and make. I'm following this guy called Boss Logic.
Okay.
So what he did was he used to make fan art for his favorite characters.
Okay.
And he just gained followership, a lot of them, and now he's doing official stuff for Marvel, and so
crazy.
Yeah.
See
and
how it just changed his trajectory because of that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I guess we can skip the next question, because the next question was, who was your favorite celeb DJ you opened for?
Okay, yeah.
I can take a wild guess,
Yeah.
right? But what do you feel is currently missing in the Dubai music industry? Not just DJ industry, music industry in general.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Because a lot of people I ask this question, they have their own
Take on it.
Yeah, take on it. Well, what's your take on it?
I think it's more so to do with the people that are digesting and listening to the artist.
Right.
There is not 100% support.
Okay.
So I mean, and also like Dubai or UAE in general, we're such a small city.
Right.
So, like, if you have to take USA as an example, right, and say there is one kid who's doing really, really good in his neighborhood,
right?
The neighborhood's going to champion him.
Yep. I've seen that. Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree with
you
you 100%.
The neighborhood will champion him. Let's just say one neighborhood champions him, and then the city that he's in will champion him.
Yeah.
And then the state that he's in will champion him. And then if he's really, really good and talented as an artist,
yeah,
the whole country will support him.
Yeah.
Right? And this is why we have New York hip hop and like West Coast hip hop.
Yeah.
And then you have Atlanta, Midwest,
South, yeah.
Atlanta, and then I think coming back to like the modern age and like the current scene that we have regionally, Sudan is gaining momentum because most of the Sudanese are so patriotic and so they have this whole like team element, like, right, oh, one of our guys is going to do it, we're going to support him through. Right?
Yeah.
And this is why even Egyptian Egypt rap, like the Arab rap in Egypt,
yeah,
is so huge, because this guy's come from my city, I'm going to support him.
Yeah.
Nigeria, like, think about all of that stuff. Yeah. The thing is, in Dubai, not a lot of people will support. I mean, people do support, but not like entirely, or not in its entirety. Like,
with some reservations.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I don't think that they know how music business works, or so musicians in a way, or rappers in a way, they can't be full-time rappers.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Like even like smaller countries, like even countries where like music is not digested or are taken in like we usually do, like Oman, for example. Even DJs most DJs in Oman, they have second jobs.
Yeah.
And like we're so lucky in Dubai that we have such a thriving scene here.
Yeah.
Nightlife especially, where we can go out on ourselves and just be DJs.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
like in other parts of the world, like in Dubai, especially like, rappers and musicians, they have to do something on the side.
That's true. Yeah. I get what you mean, 100%. But it's been changing lately, though.
It's changing lately because more and more people are accepting of Arabic music, and because Arabic is such a niche like topic. Like it's a very niche language, or like in a sense of there's not a lot of Arabic rappers.
Right.
Or like Arabic music, or even if it is Arabic music, I'm like, I really want to know how it sounds in Dubai versus in Sudan, or like in somewhere else, like Lebanon.
Yeah,
you know, it's very different. So I would want to, like, people would be inquisitive about it. But I think it's changing. Like the music industry is changing. More and more people are more supportive of it, and I think like even artists sometimes they just give up, but like there's moments where they still got to go. You know, they still have to push.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, 100% support. Also, probably we have a lot of different demographic here.
Yeah,
probably.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why we would like to support our own versus your own.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing personal,
Yeah.
but you know, it's probably one of the things. Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's switch gears. Yeah. So, what do you do? And I know you do a lot. What do you do during your downtime that does not involve...
Why do you say it like that? Like, oh, what do you do during your downtime?
No, I mean, like, that does not involve music.
I don't know. I feel like right now I do a lot.
Yeah.
I think I do a lot. But also don't do a lot.
Right. No, but like, for example, you're stuck at home, you've done all your meetings, whatever.
Yep.
Do you turn on Netflix, or do you cook, or I don't know?
I haven't cooked in such a long time, actually. I need to start cooking again. But
you do cook, right?
Yeah, I cook.
Yeah.
I think the pandemic forced me to start cooking.
You didn't cook before that?
No.
And you wanted to be a chef?
I wanted to be a chef. Yeah, so that's the funny thing, because my mom didn't
encourage it.
Okay. So I never really. So it was just like, oh yeah, you know, these like jokes of take the chicken out and put it in the, like, take the kitchen out, put it from the freezer, right?
Yeah.
And
take it out of the freezer.
You'd forget it.
Yeah.
Because I was so this is like rabbit hole of like DJing and everything.
Right.
I would forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Forget about it.
But yeah, I think during my downtime right now, I just like to switch off sometimes.
Okay.
And just do nothing.
Okay.
Like meditate, you know, do a little bit of exercise here and there. And like I got back into running again. Yeah, it's just, but like I'm always creatively working.
Right.
Like I my secret thing is like I actually watch videos of cameras on YouTube.
Yeah, my guilty pleasure too. Yeah.
Like that's what I watch.
Yeah.
If you search my YouTube history, it's all electronics,
camera
like
reviews,
camera reviews, DJ reviews, like equipment, like the FLX10.
Yeah. Where is it? Oh no. Yeah.
But I think sometimes I just like to switch off, so I don't want to think about anything.
Right.
I just but you can't help it.
So you switch off. No cell phones, no laptops.
You still use my cell phone.
You still okay.
Yeah. I still use my cell phone.
Yeah.
But even with my cell phone, like if I'm going through Instagram, for example, like I get an idea.
Right.
Like I'm like, do I have to do it right now? Let's just like
write
it down in my notebook, and I'm like get it back to it later.
Okay.
But I think I've become more and more conscious about it recently compared to when it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you are known around your circle, our circle, okay, as a sneakerhead.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you love sneakers.
Yeah.
You don't? don't
Okay,
tell me.
go on. I'll let you finish.
Okay. So, how did that come about? When did you? I mean, when did you look at a pair of sneakers and say, you know what? I love sneakers.
I think the more I got older, and right after the pandemic, I've become less and less of a sneakerhead.
Okay. Actually, I noticed that, but okay, go on.
In a sense, like I still love sneakers. I still wish that, I could buy every sneaker in the world, but like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
Well, when I was a kid, I'm like, yeah, I was gonna buy everything.
Right.
Because I think when I was younger, I never really was able to get anything.
Okay.
And then the time that I got older, I just spent a lot of money on buying sneakers.
Right.
So when I was in school, I went to a school where the area was mostly full of I would say higher middle class.
Okay.
So they would get shoes every month or every other month. So
Mhm.
that's, let's say 12 shoes per year, 6 shoes per year.
Okay.
And I would have like 1 or 2,
Right.
right, per
Okay.
year. And like it wasn't even expensive shoes. It was just shoes that you would buy from Splash
Yeah.
or like whatever, right? Just
Uh,
like regular shoes.
What was the brand that
I don't remember.
like
man.
80% of school kids used to use this?
Yeah.
Adore or something.
Yeah,
ADO.
something like
yeah,
that,
Yeah,
like-
yeah. They look like the superstars.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, yeah.
And there was times where I would like steal my dad's steel shoes.
Okay. Okay.
Steel boots.
Right.
I didn't know what he would steal boots for, but then I realized I'm like, he's using it because he used to go to like the hotels where it just started out, so he
Right,
had to
right.
wear steel boots.
Right. Right.
So I would wear it like and like clunk around.
They look like Tim's.
Yeah, they look like Tim's, like
Okay.
really. And so I think it was an opportunity when I got older for me to start buying shoes. And the first shoe I ever bought was like 150 dirhams. It was a pair of Vans.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I love shoes.
Okay.
Why haven't I ever bought shoes?
Right.
And then I just started I started buying a lot of Adidas at that time.
Right.
And then manifested this whole
Yeah.
idea where, you know what? I love Adidas. And what happened? Adidas sponsored me.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
For 3 years.
Right.
It was, so I think that's what started my journey, I guess,
Okay.
into the sneaker world.
Right.
I started understanding more and more about sneakers, why there were sneakers, why
The whole culture.
the whole
behind-
culture before Netflix
Yeah.
was there, and like we have all these documentaries about shoes and whatnot, and now like there's a whole movie about it now, you know,
Right.
that's been made by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
So there's so many that we can study about it now, but we used to know about it back in the day. You know, it's not a snobby thing to say, or
Right.
like, but that was the reason why we liked certain shoes. And
Yeah, yeah,
and it was just
exactly.
like a personal connection to it. Yeah.
Is there a okay at your what was the point in time where you had the most number of sneakers?
Most of my sneakers
Stuff.
right before COVID.
Okay. What's the number on that?
I was like around 250, 300.
Holy crap. 250 pairs of sneakers.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Where do you keep these, bro?
I kept it in my house, in my mom's house. Some of my mom's, some of my apartment.
Bro.
Yeah.
So 3 different places for 250.
No, it was 2 places.
Oh,
My
2,
mom's and
okay.
mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she ever get annoyed?
Yeah, of course.
Like, chef, how many pairs of
Yeah.
sneakers do you need? You know.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay.
She never understood it.
I don't think moms will.
That you never understand your parents, and your parents never understand you.
That's true. That's true. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If there, do you have a particular? Did you sell these after the pandemic? I mean,
I
your
sold.
collection.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I think. What's your definition of a sneakerhead?
Sorry.
What's your definition of a sneakerhead?
Someone like who loves collecting them, getting the limited edition ones as soon as they come out. I guess that's my.
So for my understanding, a sneakerhead also is he knows he's basically a walking encyclopedia.
Okay, exactly. Yeah, he
shoes,
knows
right?
everything about sneakers.
So,
yeah.
did I really have to own all those? Do I
Yeah.
actually to have that knowledge of sneakers?
Right.
Not really. So I think I fought so hard with myself to let go of anything material.
Okay.
So I was like, if I like love this iPad, for example, am I going to love it till it's to the end of it?
Right.
No, I can't. You can't force yourself to have this like relationship with something that's materialistic.
That's true.
So COVID came, and I was fighting like so hard with myself to let go of some of them, just because I needed to pay rent and like have money, because we didn't have money. So I let go of a lot of them. Yeah.
The reason why I ask is, you've probably sold a lot of them, right? But what is the one pair that you can't bring yourself?
I like I said, there was times where I said to myself, I'm never gonna sell this pair.
Okay.
But I sold it.
Which one was that?
It was the Nike Yeezy 2s.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
And you sold it.
I sold it. I was just like, I don't want to have an attachment to anything materialistic. I just need to let it go.
Oh,
and there was so many, man. Like, there's so many shoes that I have, but like, is it supposed to define you?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's good. It's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay. What plans do you have for the near foreseeable future?
To retire. Kidding. I never retire. I think I want to. There's a couple of things I want to do.
Okay.
But I think the main thing is right now is to DJ less.
Okay.
And do more meaningful stuff for the community.
Okay.
That's the key right now. And I also want to, start something on my own, kind of like have a stamp in Dubai.
Right.
Yeah, that's the two things, three things I want to try to do.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, now we're going to wrap this up, but before we do, what advice would you give to someone who's just like, pursuing whatever they're pursuing? It doesn't have to be pursuing what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yes, whatever. Well, what advice would you give them?
In what sense? Like,
okay, it's like, Chef, I want to be, I want to do this. I want to be that. I want to be a DJ, or I want to be a music producer.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
And I'm just starting out. What would you advise?
I actually get a lot of questions about stuff like this. In terms of even recently, it's about content creation and whatnot.
Right.
Do you know what I tell them? It's more of to do with going back to the old school stuff.
Right.
Right. Number one is do your research, like in a sense that see if it's something that you really like to do, if it's something that you can invest your time, money, and like thoughts.
Right.
That's number one. Number two is if you think, okay, yes, I want to go down this path. What are you doing differently compared to what everyone else is doing?
Right.
Like, what makes you,
like, how do you stand out?
How do you stand out?
Yeah.
Right. If you were, let's say, let's take an example of DJing. Right. So I've done my 120 hours of research on DJing. Right. I really want to invest my time in DJing. Right. What makes you stand out from whatever everyone else is already doing?
Right.
Like, why do you think that you should be part of it?
Right.
Let's just say, oh, you know what? I want to express myself creatively. Amazing. But what are you doing differently?
Right.
Like, why do you think you could add to the culture scene or the music scene or the DJ scene? Hey, I want to play this and that song. Great. Practice on it. Like, do your 100 hours of practice.
Yeah.
Like, practice that art. If it's content creation, start taking pictures.
Yeah.
Right? Do more content. Keep doing more and more content.
Right.
That's number three. Number four is once you start doing the content, post it online.
Right.
For people to see.
Yeah.
Like, everywhere, but not make it too annoying, but
Right.
like just
Not spamming.
Just
Right.
it's not spam.
Yeah.
And then make sure people you tell people like, listen, I have this thing over here. Like, tell me what you think.
Yeah.
You know. And then for this, network.
Awesome.
And I think that's what people forget.
Network. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Dope. My man. This is not the podcast that I was expecting.
Why?
No. It's good. It's good. All right. But I didn't realize that you were such like a deep person.
Oh, thanks,
you know
man.
what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know if that was I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No. It's a good thing because I feel like I know you a whole lot better now.
Okay.
Right? And I'm sure people who are going to watch this, you know, like Chef is a DJ. Oh, well, he's much more than that, my friends. Yeah.
Oh man, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, bro. And you're always welcome here. You know
Always,
that?
you see me all the time.
Yes.
We're talking about it.
You're just right upstairs.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Chef Codes.
It's the blank.
Alright,
it's the
fine.
blank. It's the blank
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today, bro.
Thank you, man. Thanks
Yeah,
so much.
there we go. You want to yell out your socials? Just for the heck of it.
So let's just stick to Instagram. I don't want to tell anybody about my Twitter. It's Mr Shef Codes. MrShef Codes.
Okay. What's on your Twitter, bro? Now I'm curious now.
It's my rant page.
Your what page?
My
Your
rant,
rant page?
yeah.
I have one too, but it's private.
Exactly. I don't want to tell anybody.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
It, but
It's private. Even if someone like sends me a follow request, fine. Only my wife follows me. And that's because I sometimes I rant about her.
One follow.
No, literally one. Just because sometimes I rant about her, and then and that's just my way of like, making her, giving her hints and stuff like that. Yeah. So, anyway, sorry, baby. All right, boys and girls, thanks for listening. Help us out by liking, commenting, sharing, following us on our socials, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. If there's anyone you'd like us to invite for a podcast, do let us know. And also, if there's something you'd like us to ask them, drop us a DM. Once again, this podcast is powered by the Audio Technica AT2040 Dynamic Broadcast Microphone. If you like what you hear, get in touch with us. And with that, let's hear that music. Stay safe and sound.